WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Kingsbarn, their newest 2021 limited release called here the Bell Rock, 46%, 2,208 bottles, and it has a price in Germany at least of 68 euros and 90 cents, which I think is a lot of money for a no-age statement with 46%. Non-chilled filtered, no color added, which is today basically standard. Whiskey base number 185160. So what do we have here? We have ex-Bourbon casks and we have ex-Oloroso sherry casks. Nowhere on the label or on the website does it say these are first fill. I did find a little bit in a press release that they mentioned that this whiskey is made from casks from the first year production, which was 2015, which would make this whiskey 6 years old, which is almost 6 years old, which is not bad, not bad. All right, so the ex-Bourbon barrels came from Heaven Hill and the ex-Oloroso came, of course, from the Jerez Triangle down there. So 2014, the distillery basic was founded. Going over to my very here good book, which I thought was interesting what they wrote down here. The idea was to restore a derelict farmsteading from the late 18th century and turn it into a modern distillery. So the plans for this distillery near St. Andrews in Fife were drafted in 2008 and came to fruition in 2014 when the distillery was opened. Planning permission was received in March 2011, and in 2012 the Scottish government awarded a grant of £670,000. This in turn led to the Weems family agreeing to inject $3 million into the project and becoming the new owners. So the company owns and operates the independent bottling company Weems Malts and also owns other companies in the field of wines and gin. So the capacity of the distillery is 600,000 liters per year. At the moment, they're distilling about 200,000 because they're not running 24/7. So the one pot still, one wash still, one spirit still, and that's about it. All right. So very beautiful bottle. I like it. What am I going to compare it to? I'm going to compare it to another new distillery. Yeah, this is interesting. Coswolz. In my German video, I said it's almost quicker to drive to Highland Park than it is from Kingsbarn than it is to Coswolz. I just typed it into the Google Maps. 7.5 hours from Kingsbarn down to Coswolz, and 7 hours and 23 minutes, but with a ferry over to Highland Park. It could take 8 hours. So almost the same distance away, which was really interesting for me. I'm learning a lot about where things are in Scotland and England and so on. Haven't been there that many times, but I'm still learning. So Jim Swan helped Coswolz. Jim Swan helped also Kingsbarn. Any place you see an SDR cask, you know that's what they're who started that. Now the Kingsbarn over here is actually the first time the Bell Rock, the first time that they actually used sherry together with bourbon. Otherwise, it's been basically STR and so on. And here we have from Coswolz a mix of Pedro Jimenez, PX, as well as Oloroso sherry, matured American oak, Spanish oak, or European oak, I'm sorry. So we have here American and it was Spanish oak hogsheads and buds. 9,900 bottles, 57.4%, 61 euros. Here we have 46%, 2,008 bottles, and 68 euros. So I'm just showing the differences in the price strategies at the moment. All right, so I do think it's interesting to compare these two to see what happens. On the nose, lactic acid. The first thing, bam, it just hits me. It's almost like a little bit of a yogurt moment popping out of the glass. I'm not a fan of it. Now, this is a really funny part for me. At the moment, I have a backlog of bottles that I have to do videos about, and I pushed this up. Why? Because I wanted to be one of the first persons worldwide to actually do a video about Bell Rock. I wanted to have, well, especially my German friends that could buy the bottle that's now available here in Europe. Hey, go buy the bottle. This is great stuff. Now, the problem is I'm independent. That means I bought this bottle myself. I'm independent. I don't get free stuff. I don't want it. And I'm honest, which means I'm going to have to tell you that this is not the whiskey you should go buy, actually, for the money. And I'm very, very active in socially engaged, giving back to society, sponsoring and donating and doing charity actions and so on, charity events. That's what I love doing, and that's the third part of my ethos here. So, and then I did my first video, and I was like, well, am I going to wait, or am I going to actually push this video out anyways next week? What am I going to do? Because originally I wanted to promote the product because I thought it was going to be good, and it's not my wheelhouse. That's my problem here. This is much darker. I have a much, much darker moment. I have a lot more of a clove and an allspice moment involved here. That European oak, that Spanish oak, as well as a sherry cask come together and create something which is not bad in my opinion, especially when you consider the 57.4% that's added on here for the 60-some euros you get. Okay, it should be about Bell Rock. I do not think this is going to be outside of Europe. It's only 2,208 bottles. It's 700 milliliters. I don't think they bottled anything at 750 for the States, but hey, at the moment, that's no longer necessary. You get to have 700 and 750 milliliter bottles in the States, which I think is a fantastic, fantastic thing. I get some vanilla, I get a lot of maltiness, a little bit of a sugar, a tiny, tiny little bit of a red berry, maybe a raspberry. All right, so on the official website here, I have the tasting notes, and the official price actually is £70 in the UK, so we're getting it for 68, which is cheaper actually than the £70 in the UK. Thank you very much for Alba Import that did the import that made the price a little bit more competitive at least. It is a Lowland whiskey. It is on the nose maybe toffee apples. I don't know. They say rum and raisin ice cream. I don't know. And gives you a give it a little bit of time in the nose. You have white chocolate with raspberry. Maybe the raspberry I get. I'm not sure about the white chocolate. All right, very, very good. And the barrels were actually picked out here. At least the ex-Bourbon barrels from Heaven Hill in Kentucky were chosen specifically by Isabel Weems, the company that owns here Kingsbarn, for their gentle oak flavors and rich sweetness to complement the fruit character of the Kingsbarn spirit. And this is local Fife barley. They're in the region or the kingdom of Fife, and they actually get their barley close by. Peter, the master distiller, he's a genius. He's doing a lot of good stuff there, but I'm not really loving this one here at the moment. Just like Macallan, they have different pillars on which the company's built. The family owned and operated, the kingdom, the spirit of the kingdom of Fife, the meticulously produced, and the superior cask maturation. I don't know. Okay, cheers. Young. That milk acid, that lactose acid is there. Ooh, a little bit of bitterness from the barrel char and the casks. This is just not doing it for me. You get a little bit of that red berry sweetness towards the end, but it can't mask everything else that's going on here. I'm sorry. This is a C- in my book. This is not something I'm going to go out and recommend. This is not something that I'm going to go and say, hey, wow. Kingsbarn has been a little Kingsbarns with an S twice in there, has been a little bit of a hit and miss. The Dream to Dram was young but okay. The family releases, there's been some that are cast strength and so on. And now this. The only one that I actually really like, and that is, it's called the Balcome, I think it's actually called here. Let's see if I get this right. That was a sherry casks. Balcome sherry cask matured, 50 euros. Sorry, 50 pounds. My mistake there. That is actually something to look for. Unfortunately, I don't have a bottle of that at the moment open. This is also a bit weird, all right? So the Balcome should be a standard. It should be about 5 years old. It's local Fife barley. It's matured in ex-Oloroso American oak, sherry butts, and it's cheaper than this. I thought the casks were an important part. So you have the bourbon, which are much cheaper casks than the sherry casks. And then you have the pure sherry cask, and it's a much lower price than this. I really don't understand the pricing politics of Kingsbarns at the moment. All right, non-chilled filtered, no color added. Have I mentioned this beautiful bottle? They did a great job with the bottle. Even the cork has a little bit of the pigeons and so on there. That is a beautiful, beautiful bottle. Heavy, nice, well done. Thank you for that at least. But all the bottles they use are the same. The Coswolds. I would prefer. It's more of a 3-ish, 3 plus maybe, not much more. There's a lot of the European oak in there. There's a lot of the dark chocolate in there. Very, very nice. If you can get your hands on this, if you want to try a new distillery, do. Talking about new distilleries, what is your favorite new distillery that has product out there? Is it Nick Need? I like them a lot. Even Roy's talking about them from Aquavita. Is it Raze? Is it Kingsbarn? Is it here Coswolds? I know it's not Scotland, but still they're doing interesting things. Is it Atnemochen or Atnemochen? Is it? I have another bottle here, don't I? That was here the Atnemochen. Yep. And there's some other people out there doing some fantastic, interesting things. Glasgow 1770, and. All right, so what is your favorite new distillery in the product that you can recommend? Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give this a great grade. As I said, it's a C-, and a value for money is a D. I was hoping for a little bit more. If you do see a possibility to try it, do it. Try it yourself. Maybe you might like it. Maybe it's just me. I'm not a big fan of this lactic acid, this little bit of baby spit on my shoulder. It's a sour type of yogurt moment, which absolutely does not belong in my whiskey in my case, but I get a lot at Kingsbarn and some other young distilleries. All right, please like, subscribe, tell others, and maybe we'll see you back here for other videos. WhiskyJason here, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys, 2,208 bottles worldwide. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.